a city with a heart. We have so much to offer, we don't know where to start. Maybe you like cathedrals. In that case, we have two. For football fans, we've two great teams. One red, the other's blue. We've 5 historic buildings set in many places. You should start off at the Pierhead and visit the Three Graces. If shopping is your forte, you can't beat Liverpool 1. Then, stay on for our nightlife. You're sure to have some fun. Our city's full of talent, with humour, through and through. So, sing along with Liverpool and say you love me do. God save the Queen. The Queen. All I can say, ladies and gentlemen, is if they can't do better than me, I would never have invited them.
This hirsute gentle giant has been the town crier for Shrewsbury for the past 35 years. On leaving school, he became a test pilot for Airfix, but he couldn't fit in the cockpit. So he became a driver for the Matchbox cars. His dream job was to be a thermonuclear physicist, but he couldn't spell it or pronounce it, so he became a town crier. So accompanied by his lovely consort Sue, would you please welcome my very good friend, Mr. Martin Wood from Shrewsbury.
People of Liverpool, I bring you greetings from my hometown of Shrewsbury, a town of flowers and dreaming spires, a town of quaint black and white houses, a fortress town set in the horseshoe of the River Severn, a border town sentinel against the marauding Welsh, a market town steeped in tradition yet modern in outlook. Come, walk the streets and shops like Fish Street, Butcher Row and Milk Street, but do not tarry in Grope Lane. Bide a while with a beer or wine in the inns and hostelries of the town. Taste the cuisine of France, Spain, Italy and the Americas in the myriad of eating places. Warm to the welcome of Shrewsbury, and come again and again. God save the Queen!
Town crier of Lymm and the barony of Dunham Massey for 25 years. Granddad of 8 and a son and daughter he loves. He enjoys Lymm in bloom, rugby, cricket and travelling. So when I invited him along, he said, yeah, travelling, I like doing that, I'll come to Liverpool, no problem. Can I introduce, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Peter Powell on the town of Lymm and the barony of Dunham Massey. Peter Powell from Lymm and Dunham Massey. Colourful, larger-than-life character. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, all the town criers have written these introductions themselves. They're not necessarily my own words. But I believe that. He is a colourful character. A sub-postmaster for his sins, with a passion for life, town crying, and truly loves keeping history alive in these modern times. Alongside being an avid carp fisherman in his spare time, it's fantastic to be here today amongst some of the best town criers around in such an amazing city. It gives me great pleasure to introduce yet another town crier who hasn't had to travel too far, all the way from Southport, Mr. Darrell Council.
In 1792, Southport, the true home of the Sandgrounder, was born. Built along golden beaches, on which the UK's second longest pier is adorned. Come meander down Lord Street, where once lived Napoleon Bonaparte, the scourge of Europe. Today, Southport offers a fantastic shopping and dining experiences for all. Pleasureland beckons those wishing fun, and the very grandest of hotels await when you are done. Watch the world-famous air show. Watch the world-famous air show. Watch the world-famous air show. It's always booming after which the flower show is fabulously blooming. Be in awe of the musical fireworks. They are not fleeting. And when the thirst comes a-creeping, a bar called Peaky Blinders you should be seeking. Come, pay a visit to our coastal town, as from all at Southport you will get the warmest greeting around. God save the Queen!
Thank you very much, Darryl. Now, Mr. Michael Wood just a minute. I've made yet another mistake. That's 4 mistakes today. You only make 3 as a rule, don't you? Terrible. Michael Wood, on first becoming a town crier in 1997, to introduce himself to his county residents wearing his full town crier's livery, Michael circumnavigated the 300-mile border of the East Riding on foot. It was a charity walk in which he raised £2,514 for guide dogs to the blind. I think that's a wonderful thing to do. He says he was destined to become a town crier, having been trained for free while standing on the terraces, watching Hull City Football Club and crying for real. He means, of course, with tears. I've seen him play. So, my very good friend from the East Riding of Yorkshire, I'm delighted he's made it all the way here today. Can I please introduce to you Mr. Michael Wood.
The spectacular Humber Bridge, Britain's longest single-span suspension bridge to walk or cycle across, majestically overlooks velvet green Yorkshire wolds, a Whitecliff heritage coastline, and the ever-popular mill. As the world's Yorkshire pudding capital, where Aunt Bess's produces 10 million per week, equally impressive is our county capital, beautiful Beverley. Discover its renowned racecourse, Saturday market, and magnificent medieval minster located alongside trendy boutiques on cobbled streets, with, most importantly, free parking after 6 o'clock. Furthermore, experience a daytime donkey ride, or perhaps a midnight skinny dip in Bridlington Bay, Acapulco of the Northeast. Ultimately, enjoy glorious Yorkshire weather. Last year, it rained only twice. Once for 3 months, once for 5 months. God save the Queen!
Thank you very much, Michael. Michael Wood there from the East Riding of Yorkshire, Lancashire. She is retired and now spends much of her time travelling, gardening, walking and talking. When she was a young student nurse, one of her tasks was to ring a large brass bell to encourage visitors to leave at the end of visiting time. She's hoping that her bell ringing will not have the same effect on visitors to the Museum of Liverpool here today. Ladies and gentlemen, from Garstang, Hilary McGrath.
Greetings from Garstang in fair Lancashire, an historic town on the River Wyre. Each Thursday since 1314, a market on the street, cafes and inns with good food to eat. The world's first fair trade town. Garstang's a great place to shop. Our local produce is the cream of the crop. Sail the canal or river in boat or canoe, enjoy a walk and admire the view. Throughout the year, shows, exhibitions, festivals galore, agriculture, art, music and more. All summer long, Garstang's in bloom. So come and visit Garstang. We'll find you a room. God save the Queen.
Thank you very much, Hilary McGrath from Second Home. To be here at this very first Liverpool competition is like a dream for them. It'll be all right, you'll wake up later and then you'll realise it was actually a nightmare. So please come and say hello to them at any time while they're not on the podium. My very good friends, all the way from Newport in Shropshire, Peter and Maureen Taunton.
Liverpool, we are both overjoyed to be here. Newport and Liverpool have so many things in common. The friendliness of the residents, the welcome they give to visitors is amazing. The town criers consorts are so good looking. We have 3 fishes on our crest, even though we are landlocked. You have the 3 graces that all villagers see when the ships are docked. You have a world-renowned football team that celebrates the colour red. We have a football team. They really are, well, enough said. You have the liver birds, so graceful in the sky. We have pigeons that give you a present as they fly by. God save the Queen!
The Queen. Thank you, Peter and Maureen. Thank you very much for coming along today. Thank you. Sounds like an advert for the WI, doesn't it? Kept busy with church activities, visiting friends, theatre visits, and of course, making jam. Did you bring any samples? No? This is used to be only once a year for the church autumn fair, but is now been described as industrial quantities of jam for fetes and festivals 4 times a year, sorry. It gives me great pleasure, ladies and gentlemen, to introduce from Chesterley Street in County Durham, Marjorie Dodds.
Museum to visit, lots to do, to see, and shops you need. You'll need more than one visit to Chesterley Street. God save the Queen.
Thank you, Marjorie Dodds from, as you guessed it at the end, Chesterley Street. So I have no more. You weren't here when I introduced him then. Mike Shanahan, a very good friend. He was a town crier before he retired from that business. He's been a piper for hundreds of years, he tells me, ever since he was knee-high to a grasshopper. He's now a resident in the Royal Hospital, Chelsea, and in fact is a Chelsea pensioner. And I'm delighted that he and his companion, Christine, have come along all the way from London today to play the pipes for us and to entertain us. And he will be playing again in the interval in lunchtime. So now we move on to contestant number 8. An award-winning, classically trained vocalist and actor. Did you notice the way I pronounced that? Appointed in 2011, he has taken the role of bellman and is endeavouring to maintain the proud tradition of the bellman of Otley, including regularly sampling and acclaiming the high quality of the town's ales. A noble task, my friend. Incidentally, one tradition that Terry is not keen to uphold is that of the Otley bellman of 1614, who had the doubtful honour of being the last person to be sentenced to death and hanged in Otley in that year. I could never see that happening to you. You'd break the rope straight away, wouldn't you? So, my very good friend from Otley in Yorkshire, Mr. Terry Ford.
Traditional carpentry is still part of local business today. Otley literally upholds the Palace of Westminster. It was from a quarry on Arshavin that the foundation stones for the Houses of Parliament were hewn. Ironically, the Fawkes family, yes, Guy's relatives, still live nearby in Farnley Hall. Otley supports several Morris dancing sides, a brass band, and ukulele orchestra, and hosts annually a carnival, agricultural show, Victorian fair, cycle races, and walking, food, folk, beer, and science festivals. With markets 3 days a week, beautiful scenery, and stunning views, plus an impressive number of hostelries providing food and refreshment to satisfy the most discerning palate. Otley is truly a gem in the heart of Wharfdale. God save the Queen! The Queen.
Thank you, Mr. Terry Ford from Otley. And in 2012 became the Town Crier to the Town Council of Hebden Royd. If you don't know where those places are, you can look them up on Google, it'll be okay. He's been married to his consort Julie for 26 years and they have one son, Simon. I remember meeting Simon for the first time, about that high. Now I think he's up there somewhere, isn't he, Les? Les says that if he had to remarry, it would be to Town Crier. I'm sure I'm going to read this out. It would be to Town Crying because he loves it so much. Julie says, it's okay, you know where the door is. So, Crier to the Town Council of Hebden Royd, Bellman of the Borough and the Halifax Town Crier, with his consort Julie, Mr. Les Coates.
shouldn't avoid. It's in a lovely part of Calderdale, known as Hebden Royd. Poetic Mythen Royd, artistic Hebden Bridge, scenic Ardcastle Crags and Crag Vale, visit by canal boat, coach and car, or even by first-class rail. There's cafes, restaurants, a cinema, theatres, and amazing independent shops. Fair trade, organic, it really is the tops. So if you're looking to go somewhere different, don't get annoyed. Take a trip into West Yorkshire and visit Hebden Royd. God save the Queen!
The Queen.
Thank you very much. Mr. Les Cook's accompanied by his wife Julie. And unfortunately his wife isn't well and she would have been with him otherwise. So here we go with his words and not mine. Having served in Her Majesty's Armed Forces, this proud and handsome Welshman, whose passion, apart from the wife, is his Ford 2.8 litre V6 engine trike. He settled in Sleaford in Lincolnshire over 30 years ago. And when Sleaford Council advertised for a replacement town crier, he was bombarded with messages saying, "You have a big mouth, go for it." So we did, and here he is. It has been said that he is shy, quiet, can bark like a dog, cry like a baby, and sing like a tenor. All we want him to do is proclaim like a town crier. From Sleaford in Lincolnshire, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. John Griffiths.
You can do better than that. Hello, Liverpool! Hello! I bring you greetings from Sleaford, the heart of Lincolnshire. St. Denis Church stands over our marketplace. Its tower and stone broach spire date back to the late 12th century and is one of the earliest examples of its kind in England. Visit Cogglesford Mill, our Grade 2 listed working water mill. Records show a mill on this site as far back as the Domesday Book. We have the National Centre for Craft and Design, which is the largest venue in England entirely dedicated to craft and design. Eric Thompson, father of actor Emma Thompson, was born in Sleaford. He created and narrated the original English version of The Magic Roundabout, with Ermantrude, Dylan, Brian, Florence, and boing, said Zebedee. God save the Queen.
Thank you, well done, Mr. John Griffiths from Sleaford in Lincolnshire. We're now born in Birmingham and a season ticket holder at Villa Park. He's the one you see on his own, all behind the goal. Aston being his birthplace. No blue plaque has been erected at the house he was born in, it was demolished along with the nearby Aston Hippodrome many years ago. He enjoys amateur dramatics and nothing more than street performances. I wonder if that's after closing time. Yeah. Today he is pleased to proclaim in Liverpool, so accompanied by his consort Marilyn, a great pleasure to introduce our final contestant this morning, Mr. Ken Knowles from Lichfield.
Oh yay! Oh yay! Oh yay! Greetings from Staffordshire, England. Lichfield is my hometown. A beautiful, historic, loyal but small city with a three-spired cathedral, Gothic yet pretty, founded by St. Chad 13 centuries ago. Around it, the settlement started to grow. But Lichfield was besieged in that sad civil war, left battered and bruised, taking time to restore. Yet it prospered, thrived, rose to gentility, a city of culture, fine buildings, and tranquility. Along came Dr. Samuel Johnson, of world-famed renown, born in 1709 in a splendid house in our town. As the birthplace of learning, we surpass any other. The city's motto is Hail, Great Mother. Lichfield's grand heritage has to be seen. So here ends my proclamation with God save the Queen!
Thank you, Mr. Ken Knowles and Marilyn from Lichfield in Staffordshire. Ladies